I woke up in a room, and my head won't stop spinning like a carousel. Papers lay on the floor, like unsent letters begging for a second chance. The bright light burns holes in my eyes. I've got sunglasses on, not a fashion choice, but to prevent the glare from turning my eyes into a blinking light bulb. I look around and I wonder, what is this place? Why am I here? I tend to find out. Film noir can be classified as both a genre and a style. It was defined by recurring elements, such as the hard-boiled detectives operating outside the law, whose morality is questionable and not purely good, inhabiting the dark, shadowy, moody streets, corrupted by crimes in the aftermath of war. These movies are based on 1920s and 30s crime fiction novels from writers like Raymond Chandler, whose books are adapted to Hollywood films, which defines the indie scenes the following decades of 40s and 50s. Batman's first debut comics incorporate many elements from different media at this time. One of them is Roland West's 1926 silent film The Bat and 1930s The Bat Whispers, which came out during the height of the film noir era, even though these films can be defined as film noir. Bob Kane and Bill Finger themselves have never stated the similarities between Batman and the Bat films, but it's there coincidentally or not. These movies tell a story of a criminal dressed in a bat costume committing crime during the nighttime. The early issues of Detective Comics came out in the period of prominent crime fiction novels and the early film noirs, so film noir and pulp detective books can't be denied as one of the prominent inspiration for Batman. Batman's first story, The Case of the Chemical Syndicate, in Detective Comics number 27, an explicit detective story with Batman acting as a vigilante detective, unraveling a crime mystery, embedding him in the role of a hard-boiled detective from the start. Just as Batman embodies the lone, morally driven detective archetype, James Gordon serves as a wary partner, the grounded, war-weary cop straight out of detective fiction. In Frank Miller's Batman Year One, Gordon is portrayed as exhausted, ethical but compromised, trapped in a corrupt system. He's the moral anchor of Gotham City, struggling to maintain integrity caused by the surrounding of institutional rot. He also smokes cigarettes, have late-night phone calls, and walking alone in a rotten city, all feel lifted from the frames of film noir. Gordon represents the honest cop who still believes in a system that can work. Silhouette dragging, my body navigates these dark enigmatic mazes. That's when I spotted on the floor, crouched in the dark. A bat-shaped boomerang, cold metal, sharp as Dame's insult. I've seen it before. Gotham itself is a character within the story. It is the ultimate noir city, with broken systems, crooked cops, and a whole lot of rain. Noir cities are always on the verge of decay. They are the reflections of cities of the real world, but with heightened moral decay, confusion, and abuse of power. Gotham uses that idea, but put it on steroids. Case in point, Batman the Animated Series. The city feels like it's stuck in time. The 1930s cars, Art Deco skyscrapers, and the red sky. The visual talks to you to unleash the unhinged wilderness of cartoonish criminality at the forefront. It's colorful and it's dark at the same time. Burton's Batman 1989 is the backbone of the animated series. And like all the Burton movies, the architecture goes full Gothic expressionist. Giant statues, industrial smoke. I look at it as a combination of Dr. Caligari and Blade Runner. It's this German expressionist aesthetics, but set in a grounded 80s city. I entered the next room. The projector above carved out a square flicker of shadows on the wall. A dame steps in the frame, like a mockery. Then another one in the mask. Two questionable visions that cling to mind like cheap perfume. The archetype of the femme fatale in noir media is defined by the mysterious, seductive women who often brings about the downfall or major complications for the protagonist. In Batman's world, key femme fatales are Catwoman, Talia al Ghul, Andrea Beaumont, and Jezebel Jet fulfill this tradition both narratively and thematically. These characters use their charm, danger, and ambiguous morality to disrupt Bruce Wayne's life, often at his emotional and physical expense, or worse, at the expense of his crusade. Catwoman is one of Batman's original and most recurring femme fatales, showcasing a complex mix of both seduction and autonomy. Talia al Ghul represents the femme fatale, who's usually left by the protagonist for the main women. Think of Ann Miller in Hunt of the Past, or Lola Dickerson in Double Indemnity. Talia's relationship with Batman have often led to profound consequences. Her manipulation and conflicted allegiances echoes classic noir femme fatales who ensnare men through psychological control. The story of Talia al Ghul surprising Bruce Wayne with his own son Damian, making Bruce aware of her pregnancy prior to the reveal. And also many times, Bruce has to sacrifice himself for the crimes that Talia committed. Andrea Beaumont, the titular character from Batman Mask of the Phantasm, embodies a quintessential noir of femme fatale as jaded love turned into vengeful killer. Originally, Bruce Wayne's fiancée, her return as a phantasm seeking revenge for her father's murder ultimately is the betrayal to Batman. The most classic example of this in film noir is Phyllis Dieterson in Double Indemnity. Jezebel Jet is a more contemporary addition. She's a glamorous fashion model and a secretive African princess. Jezebel's relationship with Bruce Wayne is marked by allure and mystery. The femme fatale in noir films and Batman media serves the same purpose of blurring the lines between destruction and desire for the main protagonist. Then the papers unravel. Not case files, not confessions, scripts, line for line, my own words in ink before I even breathe a line of dialogue. Like some sky puppeteer has strings, feeding me lines for a play I never auditioned for. What's the point of all of this? Am I a writer, a detective, a talking piece, or simply a nobody with good looks and bad luck? I pour a glass of water, and with the simple clarity of a man who's had enough conflicting pasts, these analyses, these words, I have to find the link. I have to make it make sense. I move to the office table, place the glass and the papers in their proper stubborn order, and open a notebook to write whatever it is I need to convey. The visuals of film noir are characterized by a distinctive cinematography style that greatly influences Batman media, whether it's comic panels or film visuals. Central to film noir's cinematography is the use of hard light and hard shadows. Sharp contrast between illuminated areas and darkness that produce dramatic tension and a sense of unease. This technique, often realized through low-key lighting and chiaroscuro effects, highlights the sharp edges and creates silhouettes or faces impartially obscured, symbolizing the duality and inflected natures of the characters. In Batman media, whether through live-action films, animations, or comic book panels, this interplay of light and shadows visually represents his complex persona, both the public mask and the hidden trauma beneath. The classic film noir chiaroscuro style extends beyond lighting to encompass a broader aesthetic influenced by German Expressionism, which emphasizes distorted perspectives and emotional intensity through visuals. In Batman adaptations, this is mirrored in the use of skewed camera angles such as the Dodge angle that subtly instills discomfort or reveal fractured realities. The urban environment, which is a hallmark of noir, is brought to life through Venetian blinds, casting striped shadows, the endless rain, fog, and wet streets, which saturates scenes in an oppressive atmosphere. This evokes a world riddled with corruption and moral ambiguity. Comic book panels in Batman stories also draw heavily from this noir aesthetics, stripping scenes with high contrast, often using stark black and white imagery to echo the film noir tradition. Faces partially lit or plunged in shadows emphasize inner conflict and fragmented identity, while tight framing and shadowy compositions evoke claustrophobia and loneliness. The visual narrative in comics simulates the cinematic tensions of noir. Film noir and the characteristics of Double Indemnity, Out of the Past, or The Big Combo might have faded away in today's cinema, transforming into a newer thing that still have the same roots or a different genre altogether. And Batman's roots in film noir run deeper than just style. Batman at his core is a detective trying to make sense of the moral chaos, just like the detectives of noir classics. And Batman movies are a continuation of the identity of classic noir films, just in different forms. So I left the room, fired up my car, and drove aimlessly. It's these kinds of nights. The city's pressing cold. Maybe there was a trick, some kind of matchbook logic pretending to be something deep. The thoughts in my mind and the words in my mouth don't match. Maybe this wasn't how I should present the subject, but one day I'll know exactly what to say. One day, the next thing will make perfect sense.